Stop chewing so fucking loud, bro.
Leave that little guy alone. The fuck is you gonna do if I don't?
Five Nights at Freddy's. Is it a good franchise or a bad franchise? In my opinion, it's a franchise. It's the most franchise. Over the years, FNAF started as a horror game to innovate the whole horror genre of video games. Now, it's so far up its own ass that it will never see the light of day ever again. The first game has to be one of the best and the most popular one. The second, the third, and the fourth game were also great, or at least not that bad. The games that came after the fourth entry, on the other hand, you can kind of see that Scott wanted the whole franchise to go on the milking train, even if the story made absolutely no sense whatsoever. If you even 100% all the games by unlocking the secrets and read all the books, which Scott, by the way, said himself that the books are not canon, they fill in the most stupid plot holes in the entire franchise, and yet you will still not realize what the hell is going on in the entire story. The only reason I have somewhat of an idea what is going on in FNAF is because of game theory. Shout out to them. I don't know if I'm an idiot or if Scott told the whole Five Nights at Freddy's story very poorly. Or I could just be an idiot, who knows. At times it feels like he didn't know how to end the franchise, so he kept the train on rolling. I'm not hating on Scott, don't get me wrong. If anything, he created one of the most popular horror games of all time, which mostly just revolves around you sitting in an office pointing and clicking at things. It's just that I'm kinda tired of people, especially the fans, calling FNAF a masterpiece. It is far from a masterpiece. The story is so badly told, you need the goddamn official FNAF books to fill in some of the big plot holes. And let me remind you again, Scott said himself the books are not canon and are its own story, but at the same time, you kinda need to read the books to know what's going on in the main story and not the whole alternative dimension or whatever it's called. I can go on and on about ranting about FNAF, but I don't want to waste your time. Let's talk about the FNAF fan games. There are so many FNAF fan games on the internet. I have even played a few on this channel. Few as in I've only played like 3, which is called Jolly, and maybe you guys should check it out. Some are so meh, meanwhile some are so good that it might even be better than the official FNAF games. They have been here for a very long time and are still being made to this day. If anything, I'm actually waiting for 2 FNAF fan games to come out. Five Nights at Freddy's Plus and Jolly 4. Those are probably the 2 FNAF games that I'm most excited about. But today, I'm gonna talk about a FNAF fan game to have such unique game mechanics and visuals that I had to tell my experience of it. This is my game XP of Tealerland is a Five Nights at Freddy's fan game made by Nitru. The game is almost 2 years old, but whenever I go into the FNAF section of Game Jolt, and yes, there is a section in Game Jolt totally dedicated to FNAF games, like you can just see on the tab there. It is always in the featured tag of the section. I'm not gonna do the normal thing of explaining the game in sections like gameplay, visual, music, story, and etc. I'm basically just going to do a whole run, no stops whatsoever. This is what I call a train explain. All aboard! This is gonna be the continuous journey, so let's get started. The game first starts with the opening cutscene. And for some reason, some unknown reason, the cutscene's audio decided to have a stroke. It might have been my PC, and if it is, I am deeply sorry. Then you get into the main menu of the game, which, by the way, looks absolutely great. The first thing that I decided to do is switch off motion blur, because I don't believe in that crap. Oh, and my god, this menu music. When it comes to music in video games, like character selection music or main menu music, it's always something I really appreciate, even if it's like kinda small. It really sets the vibe. Also, the game did not record in the screen resolution that I wanted it to record, so the screen might look a bit stretched out. Sorry about that. Years have passed since the unfortunate closure of Tealerland amusement park. Founded by you, David Artell, along with your brother Teal, the reasons for the closure were never fully disclosed. Since then, you both have moved on and gone separate ways. After all this time, the park still stands, abandoned, untouched, until now, someone familiar has called. David, the guy you play as, gets a mysterious call that may or may not be your dead animatronic possessed brother. Who knows? David needs to go investigate the old Tealerland park to find the truth. David puts on a mask and decides to become a Hotline Miami character. Oh, by the way, the audio also had a stroke for this cutscene too. When you get into the game, you can move around using WASD, typical gamer moves, and click on things. You can look around and see, oh Jesus. You look around and see some trash you can move out of the way, revealing a hatch. Down the hatch, you go. But before I do that, can I talk about the game's atmosphere a little? The rain, the creepy ambient music, the way your mouse moves the screen, the animatronics in the shadows that move, it's so well done. When you go down the hatch, the game introduces you to a little mini game. It works like this. Your objective is to climb down the ladder and reach the bottom of the floor. But watch out, Tealer is there to welcome you. Tealer plays the part of a background anime character, and he won't stop until David is dead. When you stop climbing down the ladder, you can take out a flashlight to defend yourself, because for some reason, flashlight seems to be one of the most common weaknesses of animatronics. I don't know why. When you reach the bottom floor, that is where the main game begins. But before we move on, I quickly want to say that this little mini game is not that bad. I kinda like it. You get introduced to the main menu screen. Sorry, I meant the menu screen within the main menu screen. You have 4 select options to choose at the top. Levels, animatronics, lore, and perks. You can select levels that you want to play or even replay some old levels. If you're feeling like the power of Markiplier is coursing through your veins, try hard mode. Not only will it be a challenge for you, but you will be rewarded with more perk points. The animatronic database is also very important because it shows you how to deal with each of the animatronics. Each animatronic works in their own way, or maybe some can work similar to each other. So I made sure to read each one extra carefully.
Bullshit.
The lore page is for, well, lore. Throughout this entire game, I only found 1 lore page. I think anyway, I can't remember. I would have found more lore pages, but I was too distracted by the looming presence of death by the animatronics. So I never really found the time to look carefully for the pages of the knights. The last and most interesting one of them all, the perks. In this game, each time you complete a normal night or a hard mode night, you are rewarded with perk tokens. Use these perk tokens to get yourself some of Fallout's best perks or whatever RPG game. I really do like this system. Some might call me a disgusting newbie beta male for using these perks to help me, but you know what?
I don't care.
So the first one you start with is the tutorial night, or you can skip it if you're feeling brave or stupid. The controls are simple. You move with WASD, use E to interact with things such as doors, and left click to do other stuff like also interacting with things. The game works like this. Your job is to contain all the animatronics in the facility. To contain them, you need to build a lure animatronic. The parts will spawn around the place, so don't worry. Once the lure animatronic is done, Screw it. Let's call our lore animatronic Lori. Lori the lure. Once Lori is done, you need to go back to the control room and make all the animatronics follow you. Once they follow Lori, you need to get them to a containment cell. But be careful, they will only follow you for a short time, unless you get the perk to make them follow you a bit longer. You can only trick the red animatronics on the monitor, and the yellow animatronics, well, you can't lure them. The yellow animatronics are there to make your nights a bit of a problem. Did I forget to mention that this is probably the only FNAF type game that you get a health bar? When the animatronics jump scare you, and trust me, they will occasionally, you will lose a crap ton of life. You can actually heal yourself using the first aid box in the supply room, but use the syringe wisely because you only have one dose. You wouldn't want to OD on morphine or whatever, now would you? Anyway, once all the right animatronics are contained, you tick off the list like you're shopping at a local market and complete the night. Did you get all of that? A few extra yet important things like the fact that some animatronics can give Lori a virus, because Lori is for some reason not using protection. You need to make sure to delete the corrupted files from Lori's systems. Fail to do this in a few seconds will result in Lori killing you. I know this because I died in the tutorial. Tutorial night complete. Yay! Night 1 is as simple as this. The only animatronic that you have to contain is Tealer. Tealer is a dragon type Pokemon wearing a jester suit. When you see him, don't be in the same room as him, and don't look at him in the keyhole. He is also the slowest to lure and can give Lori a virus. Tealer seems to be the only threat throughout this entire night, so it's basically easy win. That's what I thought when I was writing this Game XP script and totally forgot about Willow. You need to stare at her to make her go away. That and the fact that she can't be lured by Lori. Thanks future me for editing this script. No problem. Night complete. Night 2 was a bit harder, but also kind of easy. There are two animatronics that you need to contain, Tealer and Frill. Frill is a lizard wearing Dark Souls armor. He kinda works the same way as Tealer, except that you need to look at him if you want him to go away. My dumbass forgot to look at Frill, so I took a lot of sword stabs from him. Thank God for heroin. There's also another threat called Tacy. She is a Triceratops in a mime outfit. She shares the same behavior as Frill, but much quieter, making her hard to detect. I also took some damage in this night, but with the power of drugs, I was able to get through it. Night 2 complete.
His machines have far greater potential than what they were made for, sitting in this facility, rotting away. I will put them back together.
Night 3 is a bit of a challenge, but not impossible. It's a simple night really. Contain 3 animatronics, Tealer, Frill, and Tacy. Oh, and there is a new mechanic, the power mechanic. The boarding has become so bad now that you need to fuel the generator. The only way to get fuel is to use Lori to pick up a gas can or whatever and drop it into the generator. I don't know why the generator is not near you. I don't know. This means that it takes a lot longer to contain the animatronics because you're refueling the entire building. If the power runs out, all the animatronics will come to you, but this doesn't mean it's an insta-death because you still have some time to get fuel in the generator. I'm not 100% sure how this mechanic works. Night 3 complete.
They were meant to be taken apart, modified, tampered with. He should have known. One day it would all be compromised.
Hey, you! You here for the job?
No? Oh, we usually get guys here because they want to work at Pretty Fast-Paced Pizza. What? You're a detective? Well, why didn't you just say so? How can we help you? Missing kids? No, I don't know anything about that. I don't think the animatronics have anything to do with that. Mr. Afton's robots are state-of-the-art and have no flaws whatsoever. They are completely safe. They will not do any harm.
Great, now none of us can watch TV. That's my TV! No crap, that's why I'm freaking stealing it. Call the cops.
Yeah, Mr. Afton has been missing these past years. But we will give you a call. I have a lot of work to do, so I need you to leave. Yes, bye. Talk to you soon.
Night 4. This is where I died the most for some reason. This night brings two new animatronics, Mischievous and the Doll. Mischievous is a green and white dragon with a clown outfit. He only attacks you if you go into the hall while the music box is playing, kinda like the puppet from FNAF. When he leaves the hallway, he will leave the doll in the supply room or the main control room. When you see the doll, you need to click on him, otherwise the bad guys will hurt you a lot. Night 4 complete.
One more step until the plan is complete. The clock is ticking.
I'm also not gonna show any footage of me playing some of the hard mode nights. Quick summary, the animatronics are a lot more aggressive, and whenever you exit your PC and re-enter it, you need to put in a password, and the password changes every single time you die. I only completed night 1, 2 and 3 of hard mode. Night 5. Hey, funny thing, all this is happening in one night. Yeah, sorry, I was so used to the whole working for 5 nights thing that I only noticed that the levels are based on hours and not nights. Night 5 was not that bad actually. I kinda liked it. Because I got the perk that I wanted, it felt very easy to do. I did get hit once, but I decided not to heal myself and instead speed run through the hour. All animatronics were easy to contain because of the new perk that I got. Hour 5 complete.
It is complete. I've fixed them. I have made them perfect. They are all together now. They are now one. It will lure the beast out of his cage.
After hour 5, we get the final level. The final level is basically a boss fight. You have to go up against the ultimate animatronic, the Deterrent. They are a fusion of all animatronics put into one. Well, all the animatronics that you've encountered so far. To beat him, you have to overload 4 generators in the facility, or cave. Wait, where the hell are you? Anyway, once you charge up the generator to about 85 to 90%, you need to unlock the door so that the Deterrent can be lured to the room. When he is there, overload that bitch and watch him take damage from it. Oh, you gotta do this 4 times because you can tell by his health bar by the top. But you should also look behind you, because he will try to kill you if you are not looking. The only way for him to go away is to shine your flashlight at him. Seriously, what is with animatronics and their weaknesses being flashlights? This is a common trend in almost all FNAF fan games. Anyway, once you explode all the generators, you have successfully defeated the deterrent. After that, a cutscene plays.
Don't you despise me? Don't you want me gone? For all the times I tried to fix your wrongdoings, I have already lost. So go ahead, David. Free me from this
Wait, did you just kill your own brother that was trapped inside the Tealer animatronic using an axe? Wow, what a night, right David? Roll credits! I'm not joking when I say that I would have paid a small amount of money to actually buy this game, but for some reason this game is for free. And I do love me some free games. I don't believe it, but it's true. Out of all the FNAF fan games that are on itch.io or GameJolt, this is truly a gem. This game fits with all the other amazing FNAF fan games like Juniors, the Joy of Creation story mode, Final Nights 4, and the list goes on and on. A few negatives I can say is that they give you so many instructions that it can be a bit overwhelming at times. I really do like the whole perk system. It's one of my favorite things throughout this entire game, but in a way it kind of feels like cheating at times. If you have the right combination of perks, you can basically cheese through the entire game. The upgrade lure speed for Laurie was the most broken perk that I had. Laurie was so fast that I didn't even have to leave the control room once. You can go through the entire game without buying any perks. I actually wanted the game to be a bit harder so that the perks were more of something that you needed than something that you wanted. The final thing is the characters. Don't get me wrong, I like the characters. Their art style is done really well. It's just that for me, they're not as rememberable as I would wanted them to be. I think the designs are done well, very well, but we don't really see much of them in the game. And if we do see them, it's usually pitch black. Or unless it's a jump scare. The hallway is a big issue for me because sometimes I can't see who is in the hallway. Sometimes I think it's Tealer, but it was actually Willow or Frill or whatever animatronic. So I take a lot of damage based on their mechanics. The fact that over half the cast of animatronics are dragons also turns me down. That's why for Five Nights at Freddy's the characters are so memorable because of them being different and unique from each other. Like a brown bear, a yellow chicken, a purple rabbit, and a red fox. Because of their colors and design, it's very easy to see who is who, so you know how to deal with them. But sadly, that's not the same case for Tealerland. I will say that out of all the animatronics, I mean the Deterrent is my favorite. It's like a cross between a Frankenstein robot and a xenomorph from Aliens. But even if I said those negative things, the game blew my mind. From its style, its gameplay, music and sound, it is amazing and I highly recommend this game. Also, shout out to the developers of this game. Here is your protein bar of champs. You earned it. I'm SpyZeto and I'm gonna take a bit of a break of these game XP videos. My final words for this video is, y'all see the FNAF movie trailer?